see how you do under pressure. Yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Walk with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Juan, we got BBH, we got Naeem, we got Ron, James, DDR, Joshua. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Smack the like button here on your way in, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys haven't already noticed, it is going to be a live stream at night, right? Whenever you see those thumbnails with me doing this, that means we are doing a late night live stream. I know a lot of you guys actually like this better than the morning live streams. I'm actually seeing a lot more people watching these videos than those morning streams. So I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm going to be doing night streams moving forward, but it's getting a lot of good feedback. I guess I'll just put it that way. I mean, hell, the lights aren't even on, for God's sakes. And then the camera's not even on right. What am I doing? Here we go. Get the lights on. All right, we're back in business, ladies and gentlemen. Can you do me a massive favor, ladies and gentlemen? Smack the like button, everybody. Today, we're going to be diving into the breaking news that we ended up hearing earlier this morning, or actually not morning, the afternoon. So I was not in the studio. That's the reason why I wasn't really able to put the content out as fast as I really wanted to do. But I saw the Nathaniel Hackett signing. I did make a video prior. I made the video, it's like 2-3 hours prior to the news coming out, because there was a lot of links between Nathaniel Hackett and the Arizona Cardinals. Put the video out. Also brought up some guys like Wink as well, right? And then Michael Gabriel as well. We ended up talking about those guys in an earlier video, and then lo and behold, breaking news came out that the Cardinals are actually bringing in offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett. We're going to be diving into that, and we're also going to be talking about the new guys that have emerged to be a potential defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals. What? Yes, the Cardinals right now are continuously flipping every stone they possibly can when it comes down to that defensive coordinator position. And honestly, I like it. I really do. Now, it does kind of feel like slim pickings are happening for the Cardinals right now, being the fact that, hey, we are one of the last teams that are, signing their coach, right? I would have loved to have Anthony Weaver. I would have loved to have an opportunity to potentially bring in Gus Bradley. It's just, unfortunately, those things didn't unfold. And I mean, hell, I would have even loved an opportunity to get Raheem Morris if that was an option, right? But because you're one of the last teams to get your coach, a lot of those really good defensive coordinators kind of get picked, right? And they kind of get swiped away. And that's kind of the unfortunate part when it all comes down to it. But we are going to be diving into the breaking news of Nathaniel Hackett, how I feel about it, how you guys feel about it here in the chat as well. I don't think there's a lot of people that are too happy with the signing. I've seen a lot of bad negative feedback on the internet, but the way that I'm actually going to go ahead and label it as, I don't think it's that big of a deal, if I'm going to be real with you. Nathaniel Hackett coming in here as a former head coach, as a former offensive coordinator, right? A guy that's been around the league in the NFL since 2006. I look at this signing as just a guy that's coming in that's probably going to take a load off of Mike LaFleur. That's really how I look at this signing when it comes down to Nathaniel Hackett. So for the people out there that are really upset that the Cardinals went this direction and, oh man, he sucks, he was terrible with the Jets and blah blah, right? He sucked with the Broncos. I get it, and I do believe that the feedback is warranted, but I wouldn't jump off a bridge quite yet. I think he's coming in here as more of a, I mean, obviously he's an offensive coordinator, so I'm not going to try to, minimize what he's going to do. He's going to do offensive coordinator duties, but he's not play calling, right? That's going to be Mike LaFleur. Now, what happens with Nathaniel Hackett and LaFleur coming together? Well, it's going to be one of those situations where maybe we'll see a blend between the West Coast offense and maybe what Mike LaFleur was doing in the last year of the Rams, right? Maybe that is what's going to happen. Maybe we see a hybrid between both these offenses come together. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a offense mainly off the LaFleur tree. That's the way I like to look at it here. At the end of the day, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like I said, I look at this offensive coordinator hiring We brought Nathaniel Hackett because obviously the relationship that he has with Mike LaFleur, and on top of that, he's got experience, right? And it's slim pickings out there right now, right? It's slim pickings. There was people that didn't even believe we're going to get an offensive coordinator, right? So don't even think he even exists because let's be real. Mike LaFleur is an offensive coordinator and head coach. But one thing that we learned before with Cliff Kingsbury coming in and doing that same job, coming out of college, not being a head coach in the NFL, he took on all that a big role on himself, and never ever did he get himself an offensive coordinator. Now, maybe the Cardinals are learning from that mistake, right? Cliff Kingsbury never wanted to do it. LaFleur got himself an offensive coordinator, guy with an experience, right? With quarterback coach, as a head coach, as an offensive coordinator, he's got experience. And I think that's one thing that we got to lean on more than anything. How can we take some sort of in-game duties away from LaFleur when he's focusing on the game, right? Because time management, all these things that you need to make, right? Fourth quarter decisions, right? Fourth down decisions, right? All these little things that amount to, are you going to be able to, you know, think of everything and then coach up the guys on the sideline? No. So that's where Nathaniel Hackett's going to come in here and to come into play. He's probably most likely going to be the guy with coming up to with the tablet, with the guys are all pissed off and sulking in the seat. The guy that's coaching them in real time during the games. That's probably what Nathaniel Hackett's going to do. So I wouldn't worry about it. I really, really wouldn't. Right? Like I said, the only reason why I'm talking about it as much as I am is because there's a lot of people that DM'd me, and even on my comments on Twitter/X, a lot of people hate the signing. A lot of people really, really hate the signing. But don't worry about it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Michael in the chat coming up with starting off with the super chat train. What's up, Michael? Appreciate you, man. He says, thank you for all the content. Been awesome. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, whether it's a morning stream, night stream, afternoon stream. Thank you guys for watching. I absolutely do appreciate it. And I'm glad you are enjoying content for the Cardinals, because right now it's a good time, right? We are still in February. We're 4 days away from the Super Bowl. Let that sink in. It's crazy. I ended up going to the grocery store midday today and ended up getting a crap ton of chicken wings because that's what I'm going to do for my family when they come here and watch Sunday Super Bowl. So it's crazy to let that sink in that we got a football game in 4 freaking days. It's wild because we've been so engulfed in the storyline of who the Cardinals are going to bring in as a head coach. It kind of slipped under the wayside for me anyways. I can't really speak for you guys in the chat, but we got a football game, the last football game in the 2025 season, right? Now heading to the 2026 season, and I'm already feeling excited about this organization. I'm just hoping that everything comes into fruition, and we'll see how it goes. But I appreciate you, Michael, for obviously the super chat and being here. Fausto coming up here with the $10 donation. Woo! Appreciate it, man. Let me give you the DJ air horn. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much. He says this. Thanks. Get a beer. Short and simple, to the point. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Fausto. $10 donation. Awfully generous of you. We've got Nate in the chat with another super chat. This time a $5 donation. We got another one coming our way. Another one. He says this. I just hope LaFleur can help this I just hope LaFleur can help this offense find the spark to skyrocket. I agree, man. I agree. One thing I want to see within this organization right now is how they're going to use Michael Wilson, how they're going to use MHJ, how they're going to use Trey McBride, right? That's one thing I'm really, really excited to dive into. LaFleur right now, and I don't know if you guys get the same vibe, but I see LaFleur and the way he talks. I don't think he's BSing, man. I really don't. It doesn't feel like he's BSing at all. At all. It does not feel like he's BSing. Gannon talked a good game. It was too good, right? The things that he said was too good. It almost kind of felt fake. LaFleur started off his presser with, I'm going to speak from the heart, and that's who he is. And it's coming into light, and I think a lot of people are starting to see that, right? So I'm just excited to give him the opportunity, right? And I know there's still some people out there that don't like this LaFleur signing, which, I mean, with the options out there, who are you really going to get? I mean, let's be real. McDermott was going to come here. Mike Tomlin was going to come here. They're both taking the year off, so they weren't going to come here. This was the best option the Cardinals had for the long period of time that they waited for. LaFleur was the best option. So for the people out there that don't like the signing, let's just see how it unfolds, right? But I'm not going to bag on a guy that's finally got his opportunity, that wanted to take this job, because when the Cardinals hosted that playoff game that did not belong to them, he came out and told his wife, I'm going to be the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals one year. He told him that. He wants to be a head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, and it's cool. It's a good feeling when somebody wants you. It's cool. It's really awesome. But yes, I agree, Nate. I hope LaFleur can help this offense find the spark to skyrocket. 110% agree, man. And that's one thing we're all looking forward to in the 2026 season, is how different can this offense truly look like, right? Are we going to be able to get our running back, right, that we all long and need? Because one thing that I have noticed is a lot of people really aren't talking about James Conner potentially not coming back, right? Trey Benson, although he's probably still going to be on the roster for the Cardinals, I don't trust him to stay healthy. And I do not want the Arizona Cardinals to say, okay, well, we're going to cut James Conner, but we got Trey Benson. No, that's fine. You got Trey Benson, that's fine. But you got to go after a potential guy in free agency or maybe even in the draft to fill in that hole and fill in that need. But last I checked, if the Cardinals do cut ties with James Conner, although it would suck for that to happen, because I like James Conner, you can save about $6, $7, $8 million towards the cap, which you can allocate to the line, right? And maybe go after somebody else, like maybe a Breece Hall. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Maybe a Breece Hall, right? So there's that as well. When was Breece Hall drafted? One second. Something just came to my mind real quick. Breece Hall was drafted in 2022 to the New York Jets. Nathaniel Hackett was the offensive coordinator for the Jets in 2023 and 2022. So Mike LaFleur and Nathaniel Hackett both had experience coaching firsthand with Breece Hall. Maybe we might be onto something there, ladies and gentlemen. Breece Hall was drafted in 2022. Mike LaFleur was the offensive coordinator in 2022. And then when he no longer got the job, Nathaniel Hackett was the offensive coordinator there. And Breece Hall potentially is going to be the next up-and-coming free agent at running back. Maybe we got something there, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. It probably isn't going to come, but the Cardinals need to look at the running back position as a real potential there. Absolutely. BBH coming up here with the super chat, $1.99. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for the super chat.
Another one.
He says this: who you like for DC? My long shot is McDermott. McDermott isn't coming out to be a defensive coordinator. I just don't see it happening. I really don't. I just don't see it happening for McDermott to come out as a defensive coordinator. He's going to take the year off, just like Tomlin is going to. And I guess that's the situation that we're kind of finding ourselves in, right? I don't think he looked at the Cardinals and said, oh, I want that Cardinals job, right? Or same thing with Mike Tomlin. Oh, I want that No, they don't want the Cardinals job. Thankfully, Mike LaFleur wanted it. And just like we've seen multiple coaches get hired in this last cycle, your Liam Cohen. No, Mike McDonald was 2 years ago, but like there wasn't a lot of hype around them, right? And they got their team into contention within like a year or two. So hey, man, I got a lot of confidence right now, but that's exactly what we're going to talk about right now. Let's segue into why we are all here to talk about, right? And that is going to be the Arizona Cardinals are going through every single stone unturned right now. They are going through every single stone unturned right now with getting this defensive coordinator on the books, right? Oh, we got another one coming our way, this time from DDR, another $10 donation. My good, you got... Thank you. And he became a channel member. How the hell did I miss that? Sheesh. I will find it. Shout out to my guy DDR. Just became a channel member of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Absolutely appreciate it. Thank you so very much, DDR. And he sent in a super chat as well. I will get to that super chat right now, I promise. I'll get to that. Thanks so much, DDR. Appreciate it. These are going to be the coordinators that so far right now are linked to the Cardinals. Now, whether it was reported by Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, or even Mike Garafolo, these are the guys right now that have been linked with the Cardinals, right? Multiple reports came out today. I felt like it was every hour. And this was one of those days where I did not have the phone glued to my hip. So I was a little late when posting it on my Instagram and Twitter and even on my own on YouTube platform too. Well, I was a little late with it because I did not have my phone glued to my hip. I was preparing for the Super Bowl, getting everything ready to go. But man, we got a lot of news today. A lot. The first guy I want to talk about, and we mentioned him a little bit on this last video that we posted earlier in the morning, Wink Martindale. I'm very intrigued with Wink Martindale, man. I'm so darn intrigued with Wink. I really am. I think at the end of the day, if he does become the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals, I would be very, very excited about it. Now, like I said, we talked a little bit about Nathaniel Hackett. It is what it is, right? Some people don't like it. I don't think he's going to be as involved as we think he's going to be. It's going to be the Mike LaFleur show with the sprinkle of Nathaniel Hackett. It's going to be fine. The defensive coordinator is what they really got to get right. With what I've been hearing from Wink Martindale, he's very aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. Very, very blitz happy, which makes me kind of excited, right? Different from the Nick Rallis of last year. Nick Rallis started off good in the first 2 years. The last year, he was too conservative for me. But Wink Martindale is very, very interesting. He is currently right now the defensive coordinator for Michigan, spent a lot of time with the Baltimore Ravens. And then we got Aubrey Pleasant, which was also interviewed or requested to interview today as well. I personally think that the Aubrey Pleasant is very, very likely to happen. And guess what? That's another Rams coordinator that they can bring in to help out LaFleur. Like, how amazing would that be if the Arizona Cardinals and Mike LaFleur was able to poach another staff member from the Coach McVay tree, right? Give him more responsibility, call him the defensive coordinator. That's an upgrade. That's a promotion from what he's currently doing right now with the Rams. That right now is my top candidate and who I would love for the Cardinals to bring. Aubrey Pleasant from the Rams. No, like I said, I wouldn't mind Wink. I feel like that would be somebody compared him to BA, right? The brashness of how BA was, Bruce Arians. People said he's kind of one and the same as Wink Martindale. So I would love that in the locker room, that type of coaching. But if Aubrey Pleasant comes in, right, I think that would be an absolute huge, huge win for the Cardinals. But there was a couple other guys that were noted today that I was not very familiar with, if I'm going to be real with you. One of them being Charlie Bullen. He is currently right now with the New York Giants. And then the second one, we got a defensive back coach for the Texans. The Arizona Cardinals are also requesting the interview as well, and that's Dino Vasso. So we got a lot of names to obviously crunch down and kind of see how this all shakes out here at the end of the day. But man, oh man, oh man, the Cardinals are flipping over every single stone. They want to make sure that they get the right guy here as the defensive coordinator for the Cardinals, and rightfully so. We need this defensive coordinator to fix D-Rob. We need this defensive coordinator to bring all these young, talented guys that we have and put it all together. That's what we need. Is Cody Simon going to be the guy opposite side of Mack Wilson Sr.? I mean, we'll see, right? Is D-Rob going to continue to get 1% better? Is Calais coming back? Like what is happening? So many questions surrounding the Arizona Cardinals heading into the 2026 season, and I'm just so damn excited to cover it step by step with you guys. Let me give some love on over here. We got DDR with the super chat.
Another one.
Appreciate it, man. Let me go ahead and also this. Sorry. I might have woken some people up, and I apologize. I'm sorry about that. I might have made some ears bleed, and I apologize about that. I got to make sure I keep looking at the volume. But shout out to you, DDR. Thank you so very much. He says this. Just became a channel member. Love you and the chat, Mike. 2026 is our year. Let's go, man. Love to see it. Love to see it. And here's the thing. These are the type of things that we weren't seeing these type of chats last year. We weren't, man. We were beaten down. We were bruised. We were waiting for the sweet, sweet salvation of the end of the season. Like, that's what we were waiting for all season long. And I'm so glad that we now have a level of spark back into this Arizona Cardinals organization, because honestly, it just took the coach that a lot of us wanted, right? I know there's some people out there that don't like it, and that's fine. I get it. And we all have our opinions, right? But I truly do believe right now that Mike LaFleur is going to put us in his position to succeed, right? I'm not saying Super Bowl, but let's see, man. The next step is going to be playoffs. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not saying this year, but I'm just, the excitement or the level of just the thought of it gets me pumped up of how different this team is going to look like. But again, DDR, thank you so very much for the super chat. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, let's dive into these guys, right? Let's talk about them. First, let's talk about Wink Martindale, right? Now, I don't want to spend too much time on him. We talked a little bit about him on my last video that I posted earlier this morning, but we're talking about a guy that has a lot of experience under his belt, right? Like a lot of experience under his belt. Like he's been a coach in college or just coaching in general since like 1986, right? He's come into the NFL with the Oakland Raiders back in 2004. So that's when he became into the NFL in 2004. Spent a lot of time with the Raiders, Broncos, Ravens. It was a good majority of the Ravens. And then spent 2 years with the Giants in 2022 and 2023. And then 2024 and 2024, he was with Michigan Wolverines in college. So very, very interesting candidate if the Cardinals went this direction. We're talking about an experienced guy that if you are willing to say, okay, I'm taking care of the offense, you're taking care of the defense, I do believe that he could take care of that role and make sure he says to himself, okay, you got this, right? You got this. This is your baby, right? Almost one and the same in what we ended up seeing with Cliff Kingsbury and Vance Joseph, right? That exact marriage. LaFleur isn't going to touch. LaFleur is not going to touch the defense. His baby is the offense. He needs to get this right. That's what he's looking for. So that's why this defensive coordinator position is going to be so damn important. So important, right? For the Arizona Cardinals. So Wink Martindale, aka Don Martindale, is very, very intriguing. I'm actually really excited about what he could potentially be for the Arizona Cardinals. Now let's shift on over to Audrey Pleasant, shall we? Rams coordinator for not Rams coordinator. I'm sorry, that's on me. He's not the Rams coordinator. He is currently right now with the Rams as an assistant coach and passing game coordinator. That is who he is right now. But spent a lot of time with the Rams. Well, I mean, he kind of bounced around, right? He came to the Rams in 2023. He's been with them since present date. He's been 1 year as an offensive consultant in 2022, and then as a defensive, the Lions from 2022 to 2022. Sorry, 2021 to 2022, and then again with the Rams for another 3 years. So he has a long-term relationship with Sean McVay, right? Because McVay was hired in 2017 to the Rams. So he was with them in 2017 to 2020, spent some time with other teams, came back in 2023, and now just continuing to get better and better and better. But I'm very intrigued with the whole Aubrey Pleasant. Biggest reason as to why is because I don't know, just the connection, right? The connection that what he has with LaFleur. I really do think that we're going to be in a spot where he could probably take care of business when it comes down to the defensive side of the ball. Now let's talk about Charlie Bullen, shall we? Now, one thing that's very, very not talked about very much, and I did see it in the chat a little earlier. Charlie Bullen was actually a part of the Arizona Cardinals under the Cliff Kingsbury regime. Yeah, I know. I didn't know that either. When I first saw his name, Charlie Bullen, I was like, okay, cool. New York Giants. All right, cool. Let's see what he can do, right? But yeah, he was actually with the Arizona Cardinals in 2019 and 2022. He was the assistant linebackers coach and then the outsiders linebackers coach for the Arizona Cardinals. From there, moving on to Illinois, then to the Giants from 2024 all the way to present date. And right now, he's still like a linebacker coach, right? And an interim defensive coordinator as of right now. So Charlie Bullen, pretty darn interesting, right? Talking about a guy that probably has not gotten a lot of experience with the defensive coordinator role. He has been an interim, but that was the highest that I see he's kind of gotten in the world of coaching. So Charlie Bullen, pretty darn interesting there as well. And then Dino Vassell. That's going to be another one that we're going to talk about. I've seen a lot of people very excited about him. I don't know if that's because he is from the Texans, potentially, right? He kind of looks a little like Jordan Love, though. He kind of looks a little like Jordan Love, if you ask me. I'm not sure if you guys take a look at his picture. Kind of looks a little like Jordan Love. But yeah, he's been coaching since 2011. He was with the Chiefs as a coaching assistant from 2013 to 2015 with the Eagles. And then Houston Texans from 2021 all the way to present date, but as a cornerbacks coach, right? Cornerback / defensive back coach is what he is essentially at. So we got some very, very intriguing candidates right now for the Arizona Cardinals to potentially go after in this next side. Oh, man. DDR. Holy sheesh. My goodness.
Another one.
Wow. I think that deserves like 3 of these.
Another one.
How did I see this, lady? How did I not see this, ladies and gentlemen? And I'm gonna go to the chat. I'm gonna go to the chat, but man, let me give a real quick shout out here, real quick to DDR. Wow, with a 50 bomb. Woo! I don't think we've had a 50 bomb in quite some time. DDR saying, been watching you since 2021, and you're always been the best Cardinals content creator. Love you, man. Keep it up. P.S. Love you, chat. I mean, well, the chat loves you too, DDR. Man, can we get some like fire emojis for DDR or some like W's in the chat for DDR, or hell, use some emojis? Like we got that Trey McBride emoji that we can go and use for my guy DDR. If you're a channel member, use those heart Trey McBride emoji. Thank you, man. That's absolutely amazing, and I appreciate you. Thank you so very much for the kind words. You didn't have to say that, but thank you, man. That's absolutely amazing. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. We got Fausto coming up here again. He says, Bienvenidos. What's up, man? Thank you so very much, Fausto, for being in the chat as well. Channel member for 8 months. Love to see it, man. You love to see this community continue to grow as much as it has already. We're trying to hit 19K. That's the goal right now. 19K is the goal to hit for this channel, and we've been doing pretty solid. Right now, we're at 18,700, but 300 more subscribers away? Come on, that's it. We're going to smack that. We're going to smash that before the draft. I feel it. We're going to smash that before the draft. We're going to hit 19,000, and I'm excited for it, man. I really am. So appreciate you, DDR, everybody that's so far that's super chatted. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Let's continue with the chat, and let's see what you guys are saying about all these candidates that we have here in front of us. Now, of course, I have down here Nathaniel Hackett was already signed. I put him as an OC. I know that the label says defensive coordinator link with the Cardinals, but this is the OC that we currently hired in Nathaniel Hackett. If you're trying to throw yourself off the bridge with the Nathaniel Hackett signing, don't. It's fine, guys. It's not that big of a deal. He's just bringing experience. He's trying to put a little flavor into the Mike LaFleur offense, but this is the Mike LaFleur offense. That's what this is going to be, right? It's the Mike LaFleur show. That's what it is. So he's just getting a little bit duties off of LaFleur. That's all it is. So don't worry about it. So appreciate you again, DDR. I'm going to keep the super chat up, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure I read some super chats in the comments below. I do want to give some love on over to, I believe I saw like a Illa Dre in the chat. Illa Dre in the chat saying Vaso has high football IQ. I want Vaso. He would fix our defensive backs. Man, we got a lot of intriguing defensive backs right now. I really do. One thing that I've said in the last part of the season was, why did this coaching staff use Elijah Jones? I get it. He was on IR for the full year in his rookie year. He was one of the third-round picks for the Arizona Cardinals when we had 4 third-round picks. He was one of those guys. In his rookie year, unfortunately, he got hurt. And he was on that IR for a good majority of that year, right? But when we saw him got his opportunity, he looked solid. Elijah Jones looked pretty solid, man. So I'm actually kind of excited to see who's going to win this battle at cornerback, right? Because he's 26 years old right now. And he's going to be 26 years old throughout this whole year, right? So this might be a kid that's coming into his prime. He had a lot of glowing remark coming out of Boston College, and there was a lot of people that love this pick from Monty Ossenfort coming out of Boston College. The problem is, unfortunately, he got hurt. Cardinals drafted a lot of cornerbacks, and it felt like Will Johnson kind of took his role. When Starr was healthy, kind of fill in that role. We had so much intriguing guys in cornerback that it kind of felt like he kind of got pushed down the sideline. But I'm excited to see what he does. Can Max Melton have a bounce back? There's people out there that truly believe that Max Melton was benched in the last few games. Like, he was a healthy scratch, and he was benched. Let's see what this new coaching staff can do, right? We got a lot of intriguing young cornerbacks, a lot of them. And when Garrett Williams gets healthy again, right? Will Johnson had a pretty solid rookie year, right? Max Melton, I had a little bit more high praises in the previous years. I hope he kind of comes into his own. But Starr Thomas, the 5th, really good player there. I'm expecting the Cardinals to cut. I'm expecting the Cardinals to cut Sean Murphy-Bunting. I'm expecting them to. We can save a good amount of money if the Cardinals do decide to cut ties with Sean Murphy-Bunting. And let's not forget, he got hurt off season, non-football related, and he was done for the whole season. So Sean Murphy-Bunting, which right now I think per over the cap, we can save about like $6, $7, $8 million if we do decide to cut him. That might be another realistic path where the Cardinals, if they went that direction, we could save some money, man. We could absolutely save some money. So yeah. Soul, what's up, Brett? Soul Pancakes in the chat says Elijah Jones was supposed to be the man coverage corner we've drafted, and we wasted his usage because our coachings are zone heavy. Oh, okay, that's a good point. That's a good point, Soul. Appreciate you for being in the chat. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. When we saw the opportunity to see Elijah Jones, I liked what I'd seen from him. I really did. I liked what I'd seen from him. Now, can he stay healthy? That's the big question. When he got his opportunity, he was able to stay healthy, right? But it wasn't a lot of games that he finally got the opportunity. It took a lot of these cornerbacks to kind of get hurt, and his name started to kind of finally pop up. So I'd love to see it. But like, there was a lot of question marks about is Nick Rallis coming back. And then I saw some people saying, well, Nick Rallis can get a demotion if he wants to stay with the Cardinals. Well, I mean, if he accepts a demotion, that's okay, right? But I don't know. He's probably not expected to stay the defensive coordinator. If the Arizona Cardinals have already 4 guys that have been reported that were either A, requesting to meet with, or B, have already met with, Nick Rallis is as good as gone right now. I don't think Nick Rallis is going to be a member of the Arizona Cardinals coaching staff, or I guess that's a little too harsh. He will not be the defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals in the 2026 season, right? And I think right now that's kind of coming to fruition with all 4 of these guys, which to me, I like Aubrey Pleasant, but I wouldn't hate a Vasso. I wouldn't hate a Martindale, right? I wouldn't hate a Bolin. I think all 4 of these guys have a lot of good opportunities to potentially be that guy for us, but they're going to be leaned on very heavily with Mike LaFleur. They're going to be leaned on very, very, very heavily because Mike LaFleur probably is not going to touch the defense. He isn't. He's going to bring in somebody that's going to take full soul autonomy to do so, right? Israel in the chat says, and Denzel Burke. Yeah, boom. Ding, 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 ding. Hell yeah. Denzel Burke too. Good call out. Denzel Burke, Will Johnson, right? A lot of young cornerbacks we got on this freaking roster, man. A lot. Even if they do want to go after a veteran or bring Sean Murphy-Bunting back, which I wouldn't personally, but if they do, I guess whatever. But even if they wanted to go after a veteran in the free agency pool, they can go that direction as well. But the cornerbacks I still do feel like are very intriguing that we have currently on this roster as well. But yeah, Denzel Burke. Yeah, Denzel Burke. Bad Spike in the chat says, forget Hall, draft Love. Well, let me ask you, Bad Spike. I appreciate you, A, for being in the chat. And B, where would you draft Jeremiah Love? If that is truly the prospect that you would want to bring in the Arizona Cardinals, where would you draft him? Because to me, that 3rd overall pick is way too rich to get Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love. If the Cardinals go after Jeremiah Love, I wouldn't hate it, but just not with that 3rd overall pick. But I'm curious, Spike, if you're still in the chat, where would you go? Who would you trade back with, right? Because obviously, if you get Jeremiah Love, you're accumulating more draft capital, right, to get him. And we've seen it work out for some teams, right? We've seen it work out for the Lions with Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley with the Giants, Bijan Robinson with the Falcons. We've seen it work out, right? And right now, Jeremiah Love is seen to be probably that type of talented running back because people are projecting him to go in the top 10. Now, 3rd overall is a little rich for me. It's a little too darn rich for me right now, but I'm curious, where would you go? Would you draft him with the 3rd overall pick? Or would you trade back to a specific team and then get him? So, yeah, big question, man. Big question. Naeem in the chat says, I would stick with Corey Kiner for now. I think there's people above Corey Kiner already in this depth chart, even like Michael Carter, right? Actually, is Michael Carter even under contract? Let me see real quick. 1 second. Michael Carter is not under contract. No, Michael Carter is on and was on a 1-year deal in 2025. So he's a free agent as of right now. Unrestricted free agent right now. But even then, DeMercado, right? Probably over Kiner right now. Hell, Bam Knight might be over Kiner right now as well. Let me see. What is Bam Knight's contract? I'm curious. Now I'm kind of curious to figure out a lot of these running backs that were with us, where they're all just 1-year deals. Not all. Well, so far, Bam Knight was a 1-year deal, and so was Carter. Interesting. I think Amari DiMercado is still under his rookie deal currently, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check here real quick. No, Amari DiMercado is also gone. Yeesh. Yeah, Amari DiMercado is also gone. But he's a restricted free agent, at least per over the cap. Huh. Well, the more you know. The more you know. All right, bad spike in the Jets is trade back with the best offer. Okay. So, I'm curious, Chet. I'm curious. How do you feel about Jeremiah Love? Do you feel the same way where I'm like, not with the third overall pick, but he's intriguing? Do you guys feel the same way about Jeremiah Love? Because he's seen to be one of the best running back prospects coming out in a while as well. Any thoughts on Jeremiah Love in the chat? Fausto in the chat says, so we keep Jacoby? I mean, well, right now, Jacoby Brissett is still under contract. You know, the funny thing is I saw something on X and Twitter saying that the Jets might be interested in Jacoby Brissett. I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen. I kid you not, and I'm not making it up. I saw something on X and Twitter saying that the Jets are interested or should be interested in Jacoby Brissett. And the biggest reason as to why they're now trying to get Jacoby Brissett as opposed to Kyler, which it doesn't seem realistic, but because they ended up getting Frank Reich as their offensive coordinator, now people are coming out saying, "Oh, Jacoby Brissett to the Jets." Man, he had a really good season, which he did, right? He did. And I get you want to call it garbage time, that's fine, right? But yeah, I ended up seeing something, and I believe Connor J. Hughes, he probably said it because maybe it was a good idea. Maybe there was no reporting, but maybe he just came out and said, hey, this would be an awesome get for the Cardinals because obviously Frank Reich and the relationship with Jacoby, and now that he's with the Jets, maybe they go that route. But I don't see a world where Aaron Glenn gets his 1 year left saying, I'm going to go all in. I'm going all in, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out here. Watch out. You know who I'm going to get? Jacoby Brissett. I don't see a world where that happens. I get the links are there. I understand it. But they're going to want to go for a big swing. There's no quarterback right now that's going to be able to save their organization this year. Or no quarterback that's going to be able to save their job. Unless they somehow get Ty Simpson with that second first round pick they get. Maybe they do go Ty Simpson, right? And it sucks because it's like, damn, I want a Ty Simpson myself if he falls to the second, or maybe if we have a chance to trade back up, I would love the Arizona Cardinals to get Ty Simpson. But I don't see Aaron Glenn going quote unquote all in to get, to trade somebody to save his job, and it's Jacoby. And to Jacoby's Brissett's right to his own, to give him respect, he put some crazy numbers up, man. He put some crazy numbers. But the Jets don't have a Trey McBride. The Jets don't have well, I mean, Garrett Wilson is good. Garrett Wilson's a very good wide receiver, so I'm not trying to disrespect him. He's a good wide receiver. But he was hurt, so he missed some games as well. But they don't have Trey McBride, so I don't know, man. I'm curious. Naeem in the chat says, or Trinidad Chambliss, or like I said, we keep Kyler Murray. The problem with the Kyler Murray back and forth is we're looking at it in a perspective from our perspective, right? That's what we're looking at it as, right? So we're looking at it as our perspective. What would be beneficial for the Cardinals, right? That's how we're looking at it. And for the people out there saying, yeah, go bring Kyler Murray, nobody's really asking themselves, does Kyler Murray want to even come back here? Does Kyler Murray want to come back when even Ian Rappaport came out and said he was benched, right? That hurts people's egos, right? That hurts people's egos. Does he come back to an organization that picked Jacoby over him? And guess what? Jacoby Brissett is still in the locker room. He's still in the locker room. It's not like he went away. So I don't even think it's about the Cardinals should do this. It's, does Kyler also want to even be involved with this organization, or is he done, right? So I get it. I understand for the people out there that are saying, oh man, the best option is Kyler Murray right now. I mean, you ain't wrong, but does Kyler Murray want to come back here? That's a big question. Big question. Naeem says, bring in Jaden Reed. Oh man, that would be douche. I would love to see that. June Bug, what's up, June Bug? Appreciate you for being in the chat. Channel member of the AZ Sports Fan here as well. Says you need a Cardinals player to join the pod. I've tried before in the early days The issue that I've been running into is that because I am so, what's the word? Brash, and I don't have a filter, and my opinions can kind of go against the grain. I almost feel like they don't want anything to do with this. I'm not coming out here saying that I'm a part of their newsletter and saying avoid this guy at all costs. No, I'm not saying that, right? But I do believe somewhere that obviously the Arizona Cardinals organization knows about this podcast. They know about it. They know about it. And I'm not saying they're putting newsletters out saying avoid, don't go on this pod. I'm not saying that. But I don't know. I almost feel like because this podcast has been labeled as, oh man, you're so negative, right? That I don't think any player is going to want to do. I mean, I could be wrong. I honestly stopped trying a while ago. When I went full time, I stopped trying. When I was actually doing this like as a fun, as a hobby, part time, I actually did reach out to a few players. Some of them actually reached back out, but like it never got to the point where like, okay, this is the date, right? This is the time we're gonna get on there, right? But it was always like, oh, that sounds cool. That sounds like an awesome opportunity. But like, it never went past that. Since we've kind of gotten a little bigger from when we were in the first 2-3 years, I don't know. It kind of feels like that they know that they know, right? And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I'm not credentialed by the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not, right? And obviously, people know that I'm not. My opinion does not, I don't let my opinion get swayed by anything. My opinion is my opinion. I could be wrong. My opinions aren't God. And I'm fully aware. And I want everybody to understand that in the chat as well. I, I at least I feel like I had this platform and this platform became the way that it is because in my mind, I actually said this and I'll say it again. It's all of our platform, right? I love that we built this together because I wanted a place for fans to get together and have their voice be heard, right? And I'm just the dude with the mic, right? I'm just the dude with the mic here at the end of the day. But I mean, that's a good comment, man. Maybe I'll start back up and potentially go back out and maybe reach back out to some players. We'll see how it goes. RC3 coming up clutch with another $10 donation. Woo.
Another one.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much for the super chat. Absolutely appreciate it. This time a $10 donation. Let me turn this bad boy down here real quick and get you the DJ air horn. Let's go. $10 coming our way. This time from my guy RC3, which I'm going to say it again. My guy RC3 has come on this channel and spit some multiple facts all the time. Everybody loves RC3, and he's actually making his own podcast come the summer of 2026. Hopefully that's still a thing. Fingers crossed. But let's go with RC3 super chat. He says this. Spoiler. Patrick Queen. Wait. Spoiler. Pittsburgh. Patrick Queen. Detroit. Running back Montgomery. Detroit offensive lineman Taylor Decker. Houston offensive lineman Titus Howard. Green Bay offensive lineman Elgin Jenkins. Colts wide receiver Michael Pittman. We will all get cut. So many decisions for us. AK also get Bane. I honestly, I'm gonna be real here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be real. I want Bane. I truly want Bane. And I respect one thing that I absolutely do love, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are in the same boat as well. I love looking at mock drafts from other people's perspectives and how they feel like it's all going to shake out. But one thing that I've heard since doing this podcast, and even when I was just a young pup, right? Even when I started doing this podcast and I was like, everybody told me, never go based off of need. Never go based off of need in a draft. Never. That's the worst thing you want to do. You never go based off of need in the draft. And everybody's linking Maui Noah and Spencer Fanu to us at the 3rd overall pick. Guys, newsflash, breaking news. They're not the best prospects you can get in the 3rd overall pick. They're not. They're not. Now, if a quarterback was there, of course, they have more value, but you got to go after an edge. For the love of God, can we get an edge rusher? Can we stop missing out on these potential blue chip prospects because we need somebody opposite side of Josh Sweat? Can we look after a Bane? Can we look after a potential David Bailey? Can we look at these guys and say you could be a potential? Now, I'm not against Francis Mauigoa. I'm not against Spencer Fanu, but they're not the guys in the 3rd overall pick. I just don't see them as the creme de la creme. When you're picking that high, you need to bring in a difference maker. Fact, point blank, done. You need to bring in a difference maker. And Yes, he can be a difference maker on the offensive line, and that's fair. But I'm looking for a Pro Bowl type of talent. I'm looking for a guy that's going to be wreaking havoc in the NFL. Give me Bain. Give me David Bailey. I want to do a little bit more research come pro day and also come the combine. I'm going to do my own research. But everybody told me never go based off of need. Never do it. And everybody's doing it. Everybody's giving us a right tackle because we have this big hole. And we do. I'm not saying we don't. But you got to go BPA. You got to go BPA. But RC3, appreciate every single name on this chart. Imagine Patrick Queen and Mac Wilson Sr. Whoo! Patrick Queen and Mike Wilson Sr. Say less. Say less. Here we go. We got my guy Fausto coming up this time with the $2 donation. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much. He says the AZ Sports fan is the anti-hero. I like that. I like that. One quote I really do like, and I'm not gonna come out here and call myself a Dark Knight. But one thing that I really liked was that Dark Knight quote. Let me try to see it. I'm gonna quote it right. Here we go. The quote from Dark Knight, and I don't know, but the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because you're calling me an anti-hero. I mean, I'm not calling myself Dark Knight, but I love this quote. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. It's one of the most best quotes I've heard in my life because it's so damn true. It's so damn true, man. And of course, people hated me when I kind of got on Kyler. People hated me when I was too hard on Kyler Murray. You know how many subscribers I lost? You know how much people were bagging on me? I got somebody on my Instagram that's constantly calling me all sorts of things, but it's funny to me, honestly. It is what it is. But so many people got on me from Kyler. Look, I'm not wrong. I was just early. I'm not wrong. I was just early, right? Started 2 years ago. I'm like, Kyler, you got to get your SHIT together, brother. Like, we need this from you. But it is what it is, man. I love that quote. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Absolutely love it. Appreciate the super chat. We got one more super chat coming in, this time from John Naylor. What's up, brother? Appreciate you, man. He says, be independent, not tired to close. Yeah, 100%. This is the way to go, man. It is. And sometimes people look at you as, oh, well, why should we listen to you? I mean, you shouldn't listen to anybody. You shouldn't listen to anybody. You should form your own opinion. And if you want to have a community that you can chat back and forth, that's what it's about, right? That's what's about. But you don't want your opinion to be swayed by people that are in the inside or scared to potentially lose their credentials, right? I'm going to be the first to say right now, am I happy about the Nathaniel Hackett signing? I'm not happy about it. I'm not. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal. This is the Mike LaFleur offense at the end of the day, right? It's Mike LaFleur with the sprinkle of Hackett. And he brings experience. He's going to be able to relieve some duties away from Mike LaFleur like Cliff Kingsbury never had, right? That's how I see this. I don't see this as, oh man, we got the best offensive coordinator, because let's call it like it is. We didn't. We didn't. There was so many other options, not right now available, of course, because we are the last signing. It's slim pickings right now. We got to get what we can take. You know what I mean? But maybe the offense looks so damn good that people are talking about Nathaniel Hackett being really good. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm not even worried about that. We got to nail this defensive coordinator position. That's what we got to nail. And for the people out there that do not know and are just joining in right now, the Arizona Cardinals are linked to four defensive coordinators right now, ladies and gentlemen. 4 defensive coordinators. Wink Martindale, defensive coordinator from Michigan. Aubrey Pleasant, Rams. I like the Aubrey Pleasant connect. I like it. I really do. I think he's an assistant coach and defensive passing game coordinator, something like that. Aubrey Pleasant, Charlie Bullen, and then Dino Vassell from the Texans. And the Texans have a really, really good defense, man. Really good defense. Stingley, sheesh. Give me some coaching from Stingley. I would love that. Absolutely. So these are the guys that have been linked to the Arizona Cardinals today. So it's been a lot, man. It's been a lot. RC3, what's up, brother, man? Appreciate the super chat. And we actually just made our goal, didn't we? Ooh, 10 super chats and bang, 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 bang. Let's go. Appreciate it, man. RC3 coming up clutch with a $5 dono. He is saying this. Actually, another one. That wasn't loud enough. 1 second. Another one. Appreciate it. This time he says this. Another scenario plot twist. I love this. I love this. All right, everybody close your eyes for a second. Close your eyes. Let's live in the moment. All right, another scenario plot twist. Trade Kyler and a day 2 pick next year for TJ Watt and trade back to get more picks and Jeremiah Love. So let me read this again. 1 second. Trade Kyler. Okay, so we trade Kyler and a day 2 pick. So you're trading them to the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Next year for TJ. TJ Watt's going to be more than just a second round pick in Kyler. TJ Watt's probably going to be a first round, at least a first round, maybe 2 second rounds. And trade back to get more picks and then draft Love. I don't hate the idea of drafting Love. I really don't. Potentially be a blue chip prospect. Could potentially be. And can we use a very good running back? We could. We absolutely could. But yeah, man, the value of what you have at TJ Watt here is, TJ Watt's gonna go for a pretty penny, and on top of that, he's owed a lot of money. He's one of the highest paid edge rushers as of right now. So I like where your mind's going, but it's probably gonna be like at least a first rounder, maybe a couple second rounders or 2 first rounders for a TJ Watt. But so you want to stockpile picks and get Jeremiah Love? I mean, I don't hate that. I don't hate the Jeremiah Love things, what I'm trying to say. All right, RC3, appreciate you again. We got another one this time. DDR. What's happening, man? Sheesh. DDR. Sheesh. Before I read this super chat, let me say this real quick. Shout out to all the super chatters. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. If you can do me a massive favor, one thing that you can do to support me more than anything, it's free. Smack the like button. That's it. That's all I ask. Smack the like button and subscribe. We are on the road to 19K right now, ladies and gentlemen. 19K, and we're less than 300 subscribers away from hitting that milestone. So if you guys can do me that massive favor, smack the like button and subscribe. That helps me out tremendously, and it's free. So thank you guys for being here. Let's go with this next super chat. DDR, I swear, man. Appreciate it. This time a $20 donation coming our way.
Another one.
Thank you. He says this: Kyler should stay, but if Kyler should stay, but if he doesn't, I'm confident LaFleur can develop any quarterback we draft or sign. So you're saying Kyler should stay? So going back to what my guy Naeem was saying in the chat, I don't think it's as simple as Kyler, do you want to stay or not? I mean, maybe it is. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. Potentially. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. That's a realistic possibility that I'm just looking too much into this, right? I have a feeling that within the next 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to start hearing Kyler Murray's name being talked about in trade rumors. I truly, truly do believe that within the next 3 or 4 weeks, now that's just based on opinion. This is not based off of reports or anything. No. I feel like this is probably what we might see. But the best quarterback in free agency, potentially the draft, we don't know 100%, but potentially in the draft, I see where you're coming from, and you're saying Kyler Murray's the best option out there. And you probably want Mike LaFleur to get his hands on him, right? That's probably what you're trying to do. Let's see. I just wish Mike LaFleur gave us better answers. I wish Mike LaFleur gave us better answers. What I've heard, I'm not confident that he's coming back, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times. But with what I've heard, I'm not confident that he's coming back. But appreciate you again, DDR. Thank you so very much for the super chat. Let's go with Angel in the chat. Says, let's trade down and get an O-line first round, second round, or third round. QBs come out good. Have him start behind Brissett for 3 or 4 games. So, okay. I like the mind process. So trade down and get an offensive lineman for the first round, second round, or the third round. QBs come out good. Have them start behind. So you're saying get a QB. So you're saying get an offensive lineman every single one of those rounds, or 2 of 3 of those rounds? Well, right now, the top offensive lineman right now is Spencer Fanu and Francis Mauigoa, no doubt. I'm not... When I said I don't believe they're worth the 3rd overall pick, I really don't. I don't believe Fanu or Mauigoa is warranted the 3rd overall pick. I don't. But are they warranted a top 10 pick? Yeah, they are. Especially Mauigoa. Mauigoa is warranted a top 10 pick, no doubt. Could Fanu get out a little bit of the top 10? Maybe, potentially, just depending on the needs of the teams that are picking, right? But if the Cardinals stay at third, Bain or Bailey right now is the guys that I'm looking at. I have a feeling Arvell Reese is going to the Jets. Arvell Reese is intriguing, but I don't want to be put in another situation with Isaiah Simmons. I don't. But I really want to see what Arvell does in the Combine and Pro Days. Maybe that can sway me a little bit if he's there, I'm a little bit more confident. But right now, my two guys is Bailey and Bain at the number 3 position. But if they trade back, it opens up every possibility out there, right? Right. Naeem in the chat says maybe Malik Willis or Mac Jones, maybe Brock Purdy or Joe Burrow. You're just throwing names on the wall, my guy. Naeem, you're just throwing names on the wall right now. Let's go with David. What's up, David? He says Steelers Jets are not. Steelers and Jets are not trading for Kyler. He is a warm weather quarterback and is too short to work in snow or ice. His running ability will not help him in a snow globe. That's a fair point. That's a fair point, David. I don't think the Cardinals are really worried about fit. Now, of course, does Kyler have a say? I mean, I'm pretty sure the Cardinals are going to get an opinion, but if the Steelers want him, if the Jets want him, I mean, remember the Jets were excited to get Justin Fields. Remember that? You don't know how many videos I saw out there with the Jets fandom. The Jets fandom loved Justin Fields. They're like, oh man, we can revive him. This is the guy. He never had a chance in Chicago. Justin Fields. Kyler Murray is better than Justin Fields. Kyler Murray is better than Justin Fields. He's got a better track record. He is better than Justin Fields, bar none. And although I agree that probably that snow outside the dome weather is not good for Kyler, Jets fans are going to eat it up. They're going to eat it up if they get Kyler. Eat it up. Eat it up. They were eating up Justin Fields, for the love of God. So, although I agree with you, if Aaron Glenn is looking for a big swing, the biggest swing you can go after in this free agency pool is Kyler. Unless it's Joe Burrow. But we don't know if Joe Burrow is actually available. We don't know that, right? We know he didn't look happy. We know he looked miserable in the last few weeks. He wasn't having fun, quote unquote. But right now, for the guys that feel like there might be availability, the biggest swing you probably can go after is K1. So just putting it out there. Lil Robert in the chat says, get love in the... There's a lot of Jeremiah love in the chat. Okay. I see that. All right, I see you guys. I see it. Yeah. A lot of love for Jeremiah Love. I mean, he's a good prospect, man. He's a really, really good prospect. One thing I will note as well, for the people that do like Jeremiah Love, there is another prospect, there's another running back under him. Sorry, 1 second. I'm trying to look for his name. I apologize. In Notre Dame, they got a running back duo, right? A running back tandem. So they got Jeremiah Love and then Jadarian Price. So Jeremiah Love, which is projected to be probably a top 10 pick, maybe top 15, just depending on who wants to take him. He's 6 foot 214, right? There's another kid that could potentially come out as well, and that's Jadarian Price. He's 5'11", so 1 inch shorter, and he's 209, right? So smaller in terms of not 214. He's 209, but he's 5'11", so 1 inch smaller than Jeremiah Love. And he had a pretty solid season as well. 113 carries, 674 yards, 11 touchdowns. Average about 6 yards a carry. That was Jadarian Price. Now, Jeremiah Love, of course, freak numbers, right? He had 199 carries, 1,372 yards, 18 touchdowns, average about 6.9 yards a carry. So, of course, there's a first round pick and maybe a third and fourth round pick. But honestly, I'm pretty intrigued with Jadarian Price if he comes out. I'm pretty intrigued if he does come out. That can be another running back coming out of the Notre Dame that looks pretty intriguing. So just throwing it out there for the people that want Jeremiah Love. Check out Jadarian Price. Just check him out. He's got some good twitch to him, too. He's a really good running back. Carmelo in the chat says, don't we already have 3 quarterbacks on the roster? Right now we got K1, Jacoby, and Keaton Slovis. Those are the 3 quarterbacks we have right now on this roster. Yes, we got 3 right now. But in 3 or 4 weeks, maybe that might not be the case. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out, right? All I know right now is come March, I have a feeling that we're going to start hearing some rumors maybe within the next 3 or 4 weeks about K1. Or we're going to hear that they're going to keep him. So within the next 3 or 4 weeks, by the time we're in March, we better have a plan. We better have a plan of what we're going to do. Avoid all this nonsense, all this noise, and say, K1, you're the guy for 2000. Let him know, right? I at least hope that happens, but we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. Aaliyah in the chat says, sup, Mike? What's up? What's going on? Freddie, what's up, Freddie? Mike, why don't we get Max Ian Anchor? He's really good player. I seen a video on him. I'll check him out. Lorenzo in the chat says, trenches should be every year, round 2 and on. First round BPA. Ooh, Lorenzo, you're speaking facts to me. And here's the thing. I love that you said BPA. I love the fact that you said BPA there in the first round. That's facts. Because, yes, I agree. The offensive line needs to get fixed. 100%. Needs to get fixed. But BPA is what the Arizona Cardinals should absolutely do with the 3rd overall pick. And all these people that are doing these mock drafts, and they're like, oh, Francis Moe was the pick. Francis Moe knows it. Guys, we were told from when we were adolescents that you never want to go based off of need in the draft. You never do, especially when you're staying with the 3rd overall pick. Don't let these Francis Moe guys and these Spencer Fanu guys that are getting the 3rd overall pick, don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. Not with the 3rd overall pick. You got to go BPA. But for the new people that are just joining in, I want to make sure I do a real quick recap. We're going to be ending the stream here pretty soon. The Arizona Cardinals did announce earlier today that Nathaniel Hackett is going to be the new offensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals in the 2026 season. There's some people excited about it. There's some people that are not excited. More of those non-excited people than they are excited. What I will say and what I will equate this to is that this is not going to be the Nathaniel Hackett show on the offensive side of the ball. It's going to be the Mike LaFleur show with a little sprinkle of Nathaniel Hackett. And what he's going to bring is experience and being able to alleviate and relieve some sort of duties in game time, right? And they're going to be able to bounce ideas back and forth. I don't feel like it's a big deal. The defensive line is the defensive coordinators, who are we really going to have to nail, right? This is going to be the very important decision here that we have to nail down. So far, 4 guys have been linked to the Cardinals. Wink Martindale from Michigan, Aubrey Pleasant from the Rams, Charlie Bullen from the Giants, former Arizona Cardinal linebacker coach with the Cliff Kingsbury era, I might add, and then Dino Vassell from the Texans. So those are the guys we talked about a little earlier today. We also mixed up a couple different stuff as well. Obviously, a lot of the super chats came in and swayed the conversation in another direction. But I want to go out there and say this: thank you everybody for tuning in. You guys are all absolutely amazing. Another shout out here to Michael, Fausto, Nate, BBH, DDR, RC3. Thank you everybody for tuning in and everybody who smacked the like button here on this video. I'm gonna go and close up shop right here. I want everybody to have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday nights. We got the last football game of the 2025 season in 4 days. Super Bowl, Seahawks versus Patriots. I would rather have a different matchup, but enchiladas and chicken wings are calling my name, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a very, very good Sunday. So hopefully you guys have a really, really good day. If any breaking news drops, I will be dropping it here on the channel. So make sure you subscribe, smack the like button on your way out on the road to 19K. All right, go. Have a great rest of your day. As always, later.